At 6:30, I call this meeting of the Joshua City Council to order. We do barely have a quorum present, but we are here. So at this time, if everybody will please rise for the pledges to the flags and remain standing for Pastor Jeff Stanley from the Joshua Assembly of God Church to lead our invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
You can bow your heads, please. Father, we thank you for many blessings. We thank you for this glorious day, Father. And Lord, I pray right now as we get into this meeting, Father, that you would lead and guide and direct. And Father, and I want to also say thank you for these leaders of this city that take the time to make this city better. Each and every one of these servants, Father, you bless them abundantly, I pray, Father. And God, I pray your will be done in all things that are done and said in your precious holy name. And everybody said,
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Stanley.
Thank you.
Got it. I'd also like for us all to remember to keep our men and women that are in harm's way in our prayers. Right, wrong, doesn't matter. They're in harm's way. They need to be prayed for. So whether you agree with it or not, our military is what stands between us and everything that's bad out in that world. So, all right. Item number 1 of our work session, review, discuss, and questions related to the financial reports. Ms. Freeland.
Through February, but it's 42% of the way through the year. Overall, 4%. The only category that maybe a little concerning, lagging behind on is the funds and fees. I'm going on to expenditures. Every department under that 42% in total, with the exception of air department, which is the first year of budgeting different for that, so we're today. As far as just knowing what's still coming in for that department. Overall expenditures are at 32%, so all in all, this one's something pretty good.
Questions? Just out of curiosity, do you happen to know what the balance in our hotel tax account is? Okay, if you would, please.
Because it was down to nothing, and then so basically only what we collected this year.
Pretty much all we've gotten so far. Okay. That's kind of wondering how quickly it's building back up. Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll move into our updates from the mayor, council members, and city staff members. Anybody on the council? All right. It's been kind of a interesting month. So with the elections and everything, there's a lot of stuff going on. One good bit of news that came out of the primaries, our state representative announced the night of the primary election that she is going to be moving her district office into downtown Joshua for at least the next year. So that's a good thing. We're going to be getting some new people coming into our downtown area and seeing what we've got to offer down there. I'm excited about that. We did have a meeting just to kind of keep everybody informed. We are meeting with TxDOT. We are meeting with COG concerning the overpass. The meeting we had with TxDOT just a couple weeks ago, they brought in some renderings of the bridge drawings and different routes and so on. And they did tell us that as of that meeting, May 12th at 6 p.m., Plum Elementary School, we are going to have a public meeting for them to present the idea for the overpass for public approval. Everybody will get a chance to ask questions, walk around, look at the things that they have, talk to different people, and you will have a chance to vote whether you like it or don't. So please mark that on your calendars. Let people know May 12th. So it is coming up. We are not going to let this thing fall to the wayside like it did before. That is just not going to happen. Mike, do you have anything you want to add about that?
No, I mean, I'm starting to feel a little bit of pushback from TxDOT on some of the things, but I think it's probably not the local. I think some of the local people are not in on what COG has promised and what the Transportation Commission has decided as far as the parking goes. They're talking about things for the city to fund. I just don't think that they're aware of some of those conversations. So I'm not too worried about it. We'll bring it up on the 24th when we visit with COG in that meeting then and make sure that we're still on track, but I think we are.
Okay. Well, we're going to avoid the TxDOT two-step this time. We ain't going to let it happen. Any of the staff members have anything that's going on that we'd like to know about?
Mayor, just remind everyone, April 2nd is the deadline to register to vote for the May 2nd election.
Okay.
Couple things.
Go ahead.
If you're ready. First thing I wanted to announce to the council, and we will be doing something here in the next month or so. One of our police department employees, Gina Mueller, is that right? Just celebrated her 25th anniversary with the city. She's the only employee that's hit that milestone. However, we do have another one within the next year that will hit the 25 years also. Carla, our court clerk, will have that time in. So we're going to do something for Gina. The PD had a little gathering one day last week where she was recognized, but we want to do something a little more formal. Coming up into that. Also, you touched on the TxDOT issue on the May 12th meeting. But our meetings are ongoing with them monthly between them and COG, and so we'll continue to work those out. Engineering RFQs, we did receive a number of responses back. We hoped to have those ready, pardon me, for this meeting, but we haven't gotten through them all. We've gotten through them all now. We're in the process of scheduling 2 in-person interviews between we had top 3 firms that we looked at. We didn't get any response back from one of them on our request on their references, but we did for 2, and so we're going to bring them in. I do believe that we will have a recommendation for the next engineering contractor if we make a change next month for you. And then the other thing to remind everybody, and hopefully I'm not stealing Steve's thunder, but there is the Easter egg hunt that we're partnering with some local churches on the 28th of March at 9:30, be at the park. The Baseball Association adjusted their start times. That's also opening day of spring ball. They've adjusted their times to accommodate us. And there will be 50,000 eggs,
Oh my goodness.
all with something in them. I'm not sure what, little toy trinkets and what all, but if you want to see what 50,000 eggs looks like, are they still at the PD?
Yeah.
Many of them,
Portion of them.
you can, we're still collecting them, but that's the pledge is 50,000 eggs. And so that's going very well. So
Eggs.
if you want to see what 50,000 egg looks like, you can, and I'm sure they'll need some help spreading them out. So it's going to be a big Easter egg hunt out there though. That Saturday, I believe it's a Saturday morning.
Just so since Stephen's here, we don't normally get to enjoy his presence very often. I have had several people still commenting about how much they are enjoying the park, that new equipment, and they said it just feels better. So you're doing a great job out there keeping things moving along and everything real nicely. So We've also had a request for a ladies fishing tournament out there. So the kids got theirs and the ladies wants theirs now. So we need to see if we can't figure out a way to put something like that together. That'd be fun. So, and again, thank you and your staff for all that you do. I know Kristen's been working like a dog trying to keep the holes in the roads filled and everything else. And did we have everything fixed out by Joshua Station right there in front of McDonald's?
That's correct.
Okay. Those were getting pretty bad. So,
We have a bond on that also. I need to get with you about for those repairs, a 10-year maintenance bond
Mhm.
for that part of the roadway.
so, okay, nobody got anything else? We'll move on. We didn't have anybody sign up to speak in our public forum. So we'll move to the consent agenda. We have 3 items on the consent agenda. Discussion about the meeting minutes for February 12th, 19th, and 26th meetings. Item number 2 is discuss and possible action on a resolution by authorizing the city manager to execute multiple use agreement between the city of Joshua and TxDOT for the installation of automated license plate readers, which is part of the Flock system. And then item number 3 is discuss and consider possible action on a resolution to update personnel policy 7.10 discipline in the employee handbook. I personally would like to separate out item 3 for a discussion. Anybody opposed to that?
Good to go.
Okay, anybody want to separate the other 2 or we want to vote on those together?
I'll vote together.
Okay, I'll accept a motion.
I make the motion, we accept the consent agenda items 1 and 2.
I'll second it.
Okay, got a motion by Merle, seconded by Dakota to accept the consent agenda items 1 and 2. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? It's unanimous. Okay, item number 3 on the consent agenda is discuss, consider possible action on a resolution to update personnel policy 7.10 discipline in the employee handbook. Ms. Grounds?
The only change on the policy is a single word change. So from saying disciplinary, it says corrective action. So that is the only change in reflecting.
And the reasoning for that?
There is a compliance issue with TCL, is that correct?
Kickball has some mandatory policies they required of us last year. And, any disciplinary action has to go in their personnel file. That's great, but by accident, our city policy defined everything as disciplinary action, like a coaching or a counseling or a, hey, don't do that anymore. Could be misunderstood to do that, so we actually asked for a change. That's what she was.
And that's to bring it into compliance with Tim Pearl's definitions or whatever
Well, so coaching and counseling don't have to go with their personnel.
as a discipline.
But true discipline still does.
Yes.
So it will still be released when needed. It just keeps those coaching conversations from rising to the level of discipline.
Okay, and that just brings us into agreement with T clothing. Okay. Okay. So anybody else have any questions?
What has changed with this line versus the last handbook?
So are you asking what change?
What changes are made to this one that does not exist in the other handbook?
So this is just changing this one policy. It's not changing,
The whole
it's not
policy.
changing.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just
This is
changing a
singular-
word,
yeah.
a single word within the policy.
Yes,
Right.
still looking at doing updates to others, but we wanted to make sure that we weren't creating sort of overheating.
Okay, I'll accept the motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the change from disciplinary to corrective action in a handbook.
I'll second it.
Okay, got a motion by Angela, seconded by Dakota to accept the change to the personnel policy 7.10 discipline and employee handbook. Any discussion? All those in favor? It's unanimous. Okay, moving into our regular agenda, item number one, discuss, consider, and possible action regarding a request from Waste Connection to adjust the rates for solid waste collection services based on the Consumer Price Index and increased operational expenses. Mr. Peacock, you want to say anything, or do you just want to?
No,
turn it over to Abel?
I'm not gonna steal his thunder. Abel's here to talk to you. He'll explain it to you.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, City staff. My name is Abel Moreno, North Texas Municipal Manager for Waste Connections. It's an honor to be here tonight, speak on behalf of Waste Connections. So every year we go over the contract and look over the Consumer Price Index, which is an index that goes over kind of a broad stroke on how the economy is going in the US. And we use that number to do a plus or minus on your contract and then change the rates annually. If you look at the backup we provided, we did make an error. On there, it stated we utilize a third-party transportation company. Your city's so close to landfill, we do not utilize that. We did that across the board to the majority of our cities. That was a mistake. Apologies for that. I did not catch that until today, but I wanted to make sure you're aware. So if you look at the Consumer Price Index, it basically goes into a negative. It's a negative 0.35. So the city will be seeing a reduction of 5 cents per resident.
So the so-called people said we're getting an increase in our trash. We can call them back and say, no, you're not. Thank you very much. So, all right. So do we need to vote on this decrease or
I think we did. We need to accept it.
we need to accept the,
Oh, yeah, I guess you would, yeah.
the change to the contract?
And what I'll do is I'll make sure and send an updated letter to the city.
Okay.
Just clarifying.
Is that all we
So
need?
the city staff has that and the city has.
Okay. So good news for a change. All right, I'll accept the motion.
I'll make a motion, we accept the rate adjustment by Waste Connections.
I'll second it.
You got a motion by Angela, seconded by Dakota to accept the adjustment to the solid waste collection services for our contract. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? It's unanimous. Abel, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Just a quick question.
Yes, sir.
When we went to the big carts, my understanding was that we were going to be going automated on the whole city. The part of the city I live in, we still have guys on the back of trucks. Is that going to change anytime soon or?
Yes, we're waiting on a new truck.
Okay,
And that's, as soon as we get those new trucks in, we'll be able to update. That's really on our end, and unfortunately, with the trucks, the way you order a truck, sometimes it could be 6 months, sometimes it could be 10 months, but it's only gonna help us
Yeah.
if we have automation out there for you.
Yeah.
So, we'll get on that, and I can update city manager,
okay.
never that.
I just noticed that, and like I said, I've seen the automated truck in the city, but on my particular part of the route, I've never seen
They
anybody.
defeats the purpose.
So-
Have the parts. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Abel. That was good information.
All right,
Good change. So
thank you.
thank you for coming this evening.
Yes.
Okay, item number 2, discuss, consider a possible action on approving a master services agreement between P3 Works LLC for the creation and administration of public improvement district and tax increment reinvestment zone services. Mr. Peacock.
Well, this is the agreement where you did the RFP a couple of months back to bring in a firm to help us work some of these development agreements to help stimulate some growth, both residential and commercial. This was a firm that we selected. This is also the firm that was here last month, made the presentation to you. We have met with them and are recommending approval of this agreement so that we can get started on some development.
And this agreement is strictly for hiring this firm to negotiate these when we have requests for them.
Correct. They'll work with us on individual projects as needed, and all of their expenses are reimbursable from those projects. So
Okay.
type A will Most of this will end up covering initially for the commercial side, and then that money will be received back into the city.
And just so make sure I got my mind straight on this. Just because a developer wants this, we still have to approve it, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
The amount of it, what's agreed to, even though we don't carry the financial burden, it does have to be approved by the council.
And in those agreements, we could specify for it's got to be specified for the payoff amount of what the development cost is.
I believe they
It
do.
is a set cost, it's a forever cost for people in that.
No, once the bond, they issue bonds for the project, once that bond is paid off, that debt goes away to the homeowner.
Are the bonds the same length as like our municipal bonds, 30 years, or is it
I'm
a
not-
variable?
I think the terms vary, but I'm not.
Yeah, usually for like a PID, they're a little bit, they're usually around 20. But again, they may vary.
And that is something that is negotiable between us and the developer and all that, correct?
Yeah, I think it's all negotiable of how. I mean, I think the amount, what we're willing to put in it is negotiable. I think how they pay it off, I don't know how negotiable that is. We haven't got into that just yet, but.
Okay.
Yeah, usually it's just added to the tax bill, yes, the assessment is. But nothing prohibits a property owner from paying off their portion of the assessment upfront, not incur the interest costs. And then that lot, for example, would not have any fees, any assessment associated with it. Usually doesn't happen, but on occasion it does.
So is that assessment just a one-time assessment, or does it go up and down with the value of the property?
No, it's a one-time assessment of that for the say 20-year term.
Okay, for every house on that,
Right.
in that
Every
development
property
or what? Okay,
Correct.
okay. All right, any other questions? Okay, I'll accept the motion.
Make a motion that we approve put the agreement as stated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. As stated in the meeting minutes.
Okay, I've got a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, I got Merle, got Dakota making a motion, seconded by Merle, to accept the master services agreement with P3 Works LLC for the creation and administration of public improvement district and tax increment reinvestment zone services. Any discussion, any questions?
No, I'm getting ready to vote here.
Oh, okay. All right, all those in favor? It's unanimous. Item number 3, discuss, consider possible action of awarding the Veach Street Drainage Improvements Project to HD Cooks Rock Solid Incorporated, DBA Rock Solid, Inc. Mr. Maldonado.
Mayor and council, this item is for the Beach Street Drainage Improvements Project. We received 4 bids, with the lowest bid coming in at $157,387 from HD Cooks Rock Solid. Our engineer, Jacob Martin, has reviewed the bids and is recommending awarding the project to Rock Solid based on their experience and prior work with the engineering firm. This project addresses drainage and pavement improvements in that area. Staff is recommending approval of the low bid in the amount of $157,387.
Do I have any questions?
Mayor, a couple of things you need to know about this. This is going to be a joint kind of venture between the city's general fund and Type A. Type A owns the parking lot. That's where the vast majority of this runoff is coming from. And so they're going to share some of this burden. It's probably going to be a 50-50 split. We've kind of been going through looking at who shares what. The street's going to be redone, but it's also going to be lowered. Capacity of the road's going to be increased, and then drainage down 174 changed. It does have a small text dot component to it. So you'll see a budget amendment when we get it ready. I believe next month is what we're striving for, and we'll work out the details. Type A has also agreed to just fund all of it. And then if we want to just repay them in next year's budget, we can do it, or it can be done. I think Marcy is going to work on maybe an option or two. We haven't spoke about it after I sent the information to her, but it will be a joint deal. So
Will these changes and improvements take those little curb bumps out of the driveway going into that parking lot?
They're on the
Those are
beach
probably
side.
No,
gonna
they're-
stay
They're on the.
on the parking lot itself on the
Yeah.
beach side. What this is gonna do is take out the street, redo the curbs, get everything back to the appropriate. Part of the problem is there was some asphalt laid over that street that took in part of the curb, so it took in part of the capacity to hold water and channel it. And right now it's overtaking the curb. We've actually had some flood damage to the home there on the corner of Mr. Bentley's home. And so that's, until we get this resolved, we've also got a claim to mitigate some of that damage. And we just been kind of waiting on to get this piece of it, get it through the process and get it started.
Any other questions? I'll accept the motion.
I'll make a motion, we, take action on the Beach Street Drainage Improvement Project, and award it to HD Cooks Rock Solid, DBA Rock Solid Incorporated.
I got a motion by Mike, seconded, or Merle, seconded by Angela, to award the contract for the Beach Street Drainage Improvements Project to H.D. Cooks Rock Solid Incorporated, DBA Rock Solid, Inc. Any discussion? All those in favor? It's unanimous. Item number 4, discuss, consider, and take possible action regarding approval of an alternate funding change to the Baseball Association fee schedule and approval of the updated field use agreement. Peacock.
So I want to thank Aaron and Steve and Marcy for meeting with the JBYSA or JYSBAIC, whatever they are.
USC.
They've changed. 2.5 hours they worked to work on what they had asked us to really take a hard look at an alternate funding agreement versus a per player fee for families for their children to play. While I have reservations about the agreement, they believe that this is in the best for them. It increases the amount of money to cover what is estimated to be all of the maintenance costs for the fields. It's a little over $22,000 a year, or right at that amount, versus what was going to be around 14. So it's a little more money that they wanted to put through. The revenue is going to be generated from tournament play that they are going to set up and play and provide. We'll be getting schedules as those things are scheduled. And so this contract will be for 1 year to see how it works and to make sure that it's, my concern is as children grow and move out of that system, so does the parents, so does the help. It changes over. He's got quite a few volunteers now that are willing to take this on, but who knows how long they're going to be there. So I asked that we do this for a year first. There is a 6-month, a 90-day out for both parties. If something doesn't work out, we need to make some changes. It allows for that. The agreement was put together by Terry's staff with a few little changes here and there. We have received their insurance documents. We should be receiving a schedule here shortly once this spring ball gets ready to take off. They worked very hard to get, like I say, 2.5 hours to get it done, and went through many different options, I'm told. And then I met with the president of the association a day or two later, just because I wanted to make sure I understood and he understood what he's getting into. And he was all for it. They're wildly supportive of it. I thought they might be here tonight, but we are recommending to accept this agreement. Type B has approved the agreement as well. And we'll get them started. We're going to, I think we're going to bill them twice. They'll make it in semi-annual payments.
And the cost that is associated with it is the maintenance. What we expect to be the
Stephen
maintenance.
estimated what they spend annually on maintenance just for the ball fields and the areas associated with the park and came up with that number. So it is more than they've paid in the past. And I think that takes into consideration some additional field use. We still have authority over the fields. If Steve needs to interrupt games because of a maintenance issue, we have the ability and the agreement to do that. And so we'll make sure the fields don't get run down. They're in the maintenance they do to them now is better than what's been in years past, so they'll take a lot more play. And that's by design by Steve and his guys. So we'll go through this for the year and see how it works. And then if we need to make some adjustments next year, we will, or we'll kick back and punt. We'll see what happens. But this is what we've decided so far.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion, Mr. Mayor, we accept the Baseball Association fee schedule and approval of the updated field use agreement.
I'll second it.
I got a motion by Merle, seconded by Dakota to accept the Baseball Association fee schedule and approve the updated field use agreement. Any discussion?
You know, one question.
Yes, sir.
Steve, what type of tournaments they gonna put on over there?
They are looking at, right now, they have 3 tournaments on their schedule. They're looking at an 8 bracket.
Is it baseball or softball?
Baseball and softball.
Both?
Yep.
Okay.
In the summertime, they talked about adult softball league, co-ed. and
What, hang on, what'd you say, it's an adult softball?
They can do it on field 1 and 2.
You're too old to play. You
I
can't
know.
play.
That would be cool.
Days of playing now, but they're gonna,
I wanted
they
to see
quit that
umpire.
a long time ago, they're gonna bring it back now?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's leagues around here that are always looking for fields to use, so with the association running the schedule for field rentals, they'll be able to provide that.
Okay. That's the money's in children's, softball.
Right,
Yeah.
and these teams would be paying to play, and that would be supplementing. and
Right.
helping them pay them.
Yeah. That's all I had, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
With all these tournaments and stuff, is there any additional maintenance on the fields or?
There very well could be. That 22 was calculated based on the past 3 years worth of maintenance, chemicals, topping the infield dirt up. So supplies, materials, and then utilities. And that's based off of a 2-season baseball year. So with the additional games, it could potentially increase that. I don't imagine it'll be much unless they just run game after game after game. I don't think it'll be a substantial increase, but it will assess at the end of the year and find out.
Okay.
It's just an unknown at the moment.
Okay, any other questions? Discussion? Okay, all those in favor? It's unanimous. Any questions on any of the staff reports? No? Any future agenda items to be requested? No? Well, by golly, at 7:03, this meeting is adjourned.
Well, all right, then.